Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric Coffin, HR Advisories. I'm speaking to you from the September 2018 Metal Investors Forum. I'm here with one of the companies that I follow in the newsletter and invited, Tom Ullrich, CEO of Aston Bay. We don't want to dwell too much. I mean, the good news here is, it was a rough summer for you weather-wise.
It was.
Up in Somerset Island. The good news for those of you that are watching this video, if it was recently released, is you're going to get in front of a whole pile of news because you've got a whole bunch of stuff coming in the next month and a half, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to have results from up north, and I think that is a critical bit of news. Actually, I think it's just critical to know that we sent samples off for assay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have those results and a full detail of our drill program. I think part of what we're doing here, the process is to figure out what the signature is for copper and zinc in the subsurface, because that's where we want to find the big one. And we had some ideas going into this. We tested them, and well, again, we've sent samples for assay, so that gets us well down that road of discovery. The next step, obviously, once you know what the signature is, look for more, prove it up. That's what we want to do right now. We did have a tough summer, so we didn't get far down that road as would have liked to, but great news there. And then, of course, with our Jack's Fork, Virginia property acquisition and the bringing Don Taylor on our advisory board to direct our exploration down there. Yep. That deal is going to be closing within the next couple of weeks as well. And when that's done, then we'll actually be, at the same time, we will sign some agreements with the landowners, and then I can really start telling people more about what we actually have down there, some of the previous drilling, the kind of deposit we're looking for, some of the surface sampling and the geophysics.
There's no real seasonality issues in Virginia.
Absolutely not, no. And the other great thing, of course, is we can work very quickly down there. We can really, essentially drill right away. It's a fee-simple jurisdiction. So if you have an agreement with the landowner, you're pretty much free and clear to go and explore. And that adds a lot of value to us, we think,
you can
to be able to just move quickly and get drilling.
And I think it's great how much news is coming, and I think the Jack Forks deal is really, personally, I think very unappreciated by the market, but I realize in part that's because you kind of get all the ducks in a row and got to get this signed and finish the takeover. Until then, you're kind of limited in terms of how much news you can put out, but that's coming fairly soon.
Yeah, exactly. We've kind of held a lot of this behind the curtain, for the moment anyways. We don't want to tip our hand, for some of these land agreements we will be signing, so we have to kind of hold back and make sure everything's signed up correctly. But certainly then once we do get that news out there, and we can essentially get working on doing the work that Don's wanted to do, really for the last 10 years here, but just wasn't able to raise the money within a privately held vehicle. It's very difficult, right? So certainly we had some tough times. We started this project. We started the company up in 2008, which early in that year might have seemed like a good thing, but we know how that went. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're very excited about this. Don's excited, Dave's excited,
Well, just to touch on the Somerset Island again too. You made a comment there that maybe deserves to kind of be elaborated a little bit, and that's that you've been working on the gravity, subsurface targeting. You tried out 2 or 3 different variations, I guess. Mm-hmm. Presumably one of them worked. If one of those works, can we sort of assume from that the next go around, the next phase would hopefully be a little bit more efficient? Like if you've got a target method that works, it's like, okay, now we can go back. Now we know that doing it this way works, so like there's boom, 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 those targets. Yeah,
exactly. We think we have a good handle on what these things should look like in the subsurface, and what should be a productive drill hole. But not only that, in terms of increasing our production, it was the worst summer in living memory up there, and it was a difficult season. Hopefully we don't experience that again, but at the same time, now that we have experienced that, we're taking steps that next year we won't have these supply bottlenecks. That was really our problem this past year, and we've essentially we expect to be much more efficient. We've pre-positioned 50 tons of drilling salt for next year. It's a bit of an expensive outlay, but get it there now, get it ready to go so we don't run into those same problems. We will make sure we have a much larger stock of fuel pre-positioned, probably just go in on perhaps even on skis with the planes and deliver it in the winter, get it ready for next year, and we'll be ready for more meters next year.
Okay. Yeah, it's like, things, it was like you said, it was a tough summer, but, and, labs have been slow this year. But the good news is, if you're watching this in late September, early October, there's a lot of news coming, and part of that news is that Aston Bay is no longer a seasonal story. So, I mean, I thought you should be paying attention to it before anyway, but I think there's even more reason to now. And it's not a story you want to say, well, I'll forget it till the spring, because there's a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff happening, and probably exploration starting not too distant future.
Yeah, we can act fairly immediately. It's really just a matter of getting drillers set up. Like I say, Don's been thinking about this for 10 years. I know he's got some ideas of where he wants to drill, and it's logistically a matter of just getting that sorted out. We have 1.3 million in cash, so we can certainly get a good start on a drill program down there. It's not as expensive as none of it, and also we think that having a U.S. property, essentially with exploration directed by a U.S. guy in Don that has had such a recent success. We think that's going to really open us up to a whole new group of shareholders in the States, and to help facilitate that, and it's just a bit of a lucky coincidence, we are just in the past couple of weeks started trading on the OTCQB, and we will have our full DTC eligibility, which means we can trade digitally. So that's just really going to reduce the friction for potential American investors. So we're very happy about that.
It's all coming together. A lot of good news coming. I think those of you that maybe thought you missed about earlier in the year or didn't want to focus on it because as we're going into the fall, there's a lot coming, and now's a really good time to be looking at Aston Bay. You should be paying attention. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.